So we're talking about issue processing in the form of a mastermind group. The whole point of this is to allow a group of people, some of whom have an issue, some of whom are experts on that issue, to share their experiences, to collate their information and understanding in such a way that somebody who's in a hot seat can take advantage of that, take it away and work on it, and also to be held to account. So to be a little more specific, the way that we work is we ask a group of people to talk about the issues that are in their business today, the things that they're worried about, and we have a process for identifying the things that are most important to them.
There's a great deal of benefit from sharing experiences with each other. Even if you haven't experienced one of those issues or challenges yourself, it can actually help you prevent having those issues in the future if you've heard how other people have dealt with it and some of the precautionary actions they've taken to prevent some of those issues. And there's a lot of commonality. Businesses are about people, and people are about their behaviours. And a lot of the issues that we see and a lot of the challenges that entrepreneurs face are because of people's behaviour. The more we can share our experience of managing people, the more benefit there is to each of us.
The session is split into a number of areas. Step one is to ask the individual to pose a question. How do I fix an issue in my business? And the how do I is important because it's about the individual, about the person having a problem that they want to solve. So how do I solve problem X in my business today? We then ask that person to explain that issue in a bit more detail. They talk about their business, they talk about how that issue affects them, they talk about how it affects their business, they talk about how their business works, because not everybody's necessarily familiar with the structure of their business. We then ask the group to ask questions to clarify. So the whole point of this next phase is to get everybody to the same understanding of the issue, and that includes the person in the hot seat. Everybody's trying to get to a full understanding of what the problem is that they're trying to solve. We're then ready to rephrase the question, and that takes two phases. Phase one is we ask the group to repose the question, and it might be that everybody in the group will sit there and say, actually, the question that was asked at the beginning, how do I fix problem X? That's the one that we should be asking. And it may be that everybody in the group poses a different question, and they'll say something along the lines of, actually, that's not your issue. Problem Y is your problem. So how do I fix problem Y? So somebody may have spoken about a people issue, and the group will say, actually, this is about process. It's then down to the person in the hot seat to specify more precisely what their question is, and we allow them the freedom to stick with their original question, to choose one of those proposed by the group, or to suggest an alternative that they thought of themselves based on the inputs from the group. The next phase of the process is to ask the group one at a time to suggest fixes, to suggest solutions. And that is phrased, if I were you, I would. And we go through the room and ask everybody for suggestions until the room has exhausted all possibilities. At that point, the person in the hot seat is asked, what are you going to do? They then have the freedom to say, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z from this list I've been given. Or they may say, actually, I don't like any of those, but what you've suggested to me means that I'm now much clearer on my thinking. I'm going to do something totally different that I thought of for myself. And then they tell us how they're going to be held to account. That is issue processing. It's a mastermind process. It takes the power of the people in the room to work on a problem, and oftentimes you'll find that somebody's got an issue that they're really losing sleep over. Somebody else in the room has already solved that problem in their own business.